Hey, how we doing? First live stream of 2021, or at least by me. How we doing? Let's do this. I've just noticed that I've had a shave and I'm wearing half of what I removed from my face. So that's a great start, isn't it? I could do with a bit of a barnet chop, to be honest. Anyway, let's talk about what this live stream is going to be about. First and foremost is just a bit of fun, really. It's just a lovely chat about Doctor Who and the collection series, especially because we love it, don't we? We do. God. Oh, live videos. See, normally I could just edit that out. So this came out 3 weeks ago, literally today. And so let's have a catch up. Let's talk about this. I want to hear your favorite special features on this box set. So there's that. I shall also be coughing throughout the whole stream. So that's a treat, isn't it? And I've got the BBC press release here for the recently announced Doctor Who The Collection reissues of seasons 12 and 19. So we can have a look through that press release together and we can work out, how different, what the main differences are going to be in these more stripped down re-releases of seasons 12 and 19. And there's lots of other stuff we can do. I've got a beautiful vinyl box set here that I'll show you a bit later. Also got another one. So basically, let's just have a chat. I probably won't be here for hours, but I just really wanted to come on and say hello because I haven't managed to do one of these streams all year. Hello, everybody. Let's say hello to people. Hello, Lewis Frisbee. Whoa. Yes, lots of people. Hooray. And hello and thank you to the Doc 2, who even before this live stream started, he sent me a very generous super chat so that I could buy myself the new or I don't know how new it is actually, but the Rent-A-Ghost box set. So that's amazing. What a great way to start a stream and getting a super chat donation before you even start. In case you haven't been to my more recent live streams before, anyone who sends me a super chat donation gets their username put on that board. The Hall of Fame. Nice. Oh God, thank God that cough seems to have subsided. This is a really bad time to not only be asking people for money, but to be having a cough. Yes. So let's see. So the also when people send me a super chat donation, I'm going to make the lights in the background flash. So let's do that in the honor of the Doc 2. There we go. I must remember to turn it off. I always forget to do that. Right. James Gent, what a tremendous man. He is literally a gent. He's one of my Patreon supporters. Tremendous man. Simon Mallinson, hooray. Remedia Video. Oh, lots of names that I recognize. Hello, Crazy Jane. How you doing? Hello, Lindsay Kane. Wally. Wally? Let's call the whole thing off. Almost said Pyger Gunk. No, it's not Pyger Gunk. It's Geiger Punk is with us. One of my favorite, very favorite YouTubers, full stop, let alone one of my favorite retro YouTubers. So after this stream is finished, mind, check out his channel and subscribe if you like great retro gameplay. So let's start by talking about this because, like I say, this delightful object has been out for 3 weeks today. So now I hope you've been watching my interview, my 4-part interview I've done with Chris Chapman. I just put out the 3rd part of that tonight, about half an hour before this live stream. It's a big night for this channel. Yeah. And I hope you've been watching that because so far there's been a general interview with Chris on this channel about just making the docs for this box set during a pandemic, last year. Stuff was going to be filmed in March 2020 and then it had to be switched to like October, November, I think. And so Chris has done some really amazing work for this box set, and I'm wondering what you think of that stuff. And Also, what other stuff? All the stuff on this box set. I want to know what your favorite stuff is. Right, I must remember to turn the lights off. Haha. How do I do that? There it is. Look at that. Mastery. Absolute mastery. Yes. So what have you seen so far? Let's kind of exchange a few recommendations for stuff to watch on this box set. Because I don't know about you, when it comes to actually watching these things, I end up getting a bit paralyzed by choice. There's so much choice. Yeah, so much stuff to watch. It's incredible. So what would you recommend? Let me know. And this came out, I can't remember when this came out. Was this a week ago? Almost a week ago. This BBC press release about the, I mean, it's huge news. And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm a writer by trade. And so lately I've had my head in a kind of a big old edit of something. And so I haven't had so much time to make videos or do live streams or, you know, almost anything apart from what I was doing, you know. But here I am. A live stream is a good way to cover a lot of bases, and it's also been great that I've had the, you know, I did this 55-minute interview with Chris Chapman, you know, about all of these documentaries he's made for this, and my Patreon supporters, by the way, I should mention, got to see it immediately, the whole 55-minute chat. And so after that, I've kind of chopped it up and fed it out onto YouTube bit by bit. Now then, let's have a look. I want to see what people are saying about special features. Has anyone given me a recommendation for a special feature on this box set? Lindsay, I got your name right. I got it right the first time, I'm assuming. So I did say it both ways, like a complete fool. James Gent says of Chris Chapman, I'm sure making these docs is hard work, but he makes it all sound like such a fun job. Yeah, I mean, I think in my interviews with Chris, which was so much fun to do, you know, even though it's over Zoom, you know, actually Zoom interviews are fine. Yeah, I hope my interviews got across that Chris just puts so much thought and care into his work. And I think you can kind of see from the way he is in the interviews I've done with him there, you can see how he creates a nice calm atmosphere on, you know, when he's making a documentary. You can really, yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah. Alex says, I haven't had a chance to go through any of it yet. I'm still going through season 14. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's loads of stuff that I haven't seen in season 14 as well, and that was released a year ago. Well, almost. I'll tell you, here's a confession that I'll probably only make during a live stream as well. I love the booklets in these things, but I've almost entirely forgotten to read them. Either that or I'm kind of saving them for a rainy day, you know. But thing is, they're kind of squirreled away inside these box sets, aren't they? And so I tend to forget about them, which is terrible. What a terrible business. What are those books over there? They look rubbish. Don't buy either of those. Certainly don't buy, what is that? Oh, The Last Days of Jack Sparks, Ghoster. What's all that about? Supernatural nonsense. Lewis Frisbee, I can recommend the making of documentary for Terror of the Autons. I don't think I have seen that. That's not a new one, is it? Is that from the DVD? I can't remember whether I've seen that or not. Chris Mail says Terence and Me was just very touching. Let's hear it for, you know, Terence and Me. That is probably, I don't know, it's hard to choose between the documentaries, and I'm sure Chris would be loath to choose himself, but I think Terence and Me was the one that kind of astonished me and surprised me the most in this box set. I mean, it's, you know, I won't spoil anything at all. No, I'm a spoiler-free zone in general, quite frankly. You know, I wouldn't even write online in a tweet what happens at the end of The Sixth Sense. That's how careful I am, and I mean that. But yeah, Terence and Me. My God, yeah. So it's Frank Skinner kind of on a bit of a personal mission to kind of get more of a sense of Terrance Dicks, and he has a reason for wanting to do that, which I won't specify, even though it's kind of, he reveals it pretty early in the documentary. It's just nice to experience these things, and you know, the surprises that come with them. And it's just, it ends in the most surprising, it ends in a place I didn't expect it to, let's put it like that. Yeah. Yeah, Geigerpunk has hit the nail on the head with those books over there. He says, obviously some guff written by a satanic Freemason. Yeah, I don't know, don't even know where they came from. That's a bit weird. They've got my name on the front. I don't know what that's all about. Well, Ghoster had me hooked, says Simon Mallinson. Thank you, sir. Very kind, very kind. Blair Who, hello Blair Who. I've recently finished watching season 8. It was a great season. Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? What a box set this is. And I'm still going through the special features. Gary Hedger, hello Gary. He says, I heard a rumor about the collection. We might get season 6 box set. Wow, well that would be nice. Any box set would be great, wouldn't it? I mean, it's the thing with rumors. I mean, I think rumors are fun. But I think I can't help feeling that no matter where you look on the internet, you're going to see a rumor about what some season being next, you know, no matter what the season is. Oh, Geigerpunk, you and your 6th Sense spoilers. Blair Who agrees that Terrance and Me was probably my favorite out of the 3. But I think, you know, what all of the 3 Chapman docs have in common on this box set is the sense that they're kind of going the extra mile, or the extra, or in the case of the direct route, the extra 700 miles. That's definitely pretty impressive. Yeah. Alex says, don't suppose anyone has any idea on when season 24 is coming out? No. I can tell you when the reissues of seasons 12 and 19 are coming out. That seems to be on May the 31st. And we'll talk about those in a bit. I'll tell you what I watched. I have watched some other things on this box set besides the Chapman documentaries. I watched the updated special effects for Terror of the Autons. That was really good. I was very impressed with those effects. What do you think of the special effects? The new CGI effects on Terror of the Autons. Have you seen that? I was very impressed with it, especially, I mean, to be honest with you, the sort of backgrounds of shots on the radar tower, or whatever it's called, are neither here nor there with me. I'm not really bothered about that, you know, the CSO touch-ups. I mean, it's nice and I appreciate the work done, don't get me wrong, but yes, what was I going to say? Completely lost me train of thought, ain't I? The doll, the Auton doll that starts off in the back of the old fella's car and then comes home with him and then kills him in front of his wife, sort of. Yeah, the movement of that doll is just amazing. It was so weird. It was so weird after all this time of kind of seeing its kind of clunky movement and a sort of weird perspective, to seeing it move so slowly and so kind of fluidly was just astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. Alex says, really cool to see the surprise in the radar dishes. Yeah, the climax is certainly looks impressive now, doesn't it? I mean, you know, yeah, Lewis agrees. I do like the Nestine squid. Custard Time Lord, hello sir, you're a very fine and valued Patreon supporter of mine. The new effects were great. The new squid in the radar dishes was awesome. Yeah, we like that squid. I mean, to be honest, looking back, I didn't mind the sort of the light, but it's also, you know, it is nice to have a squid, isn't it? Especially as it kind of recalls that Terror of the Autons cover. Yeah, gotta love that Terror of the Autons cover. And when I say that, I'm talking about the Target book by, I'm assuming, Terrance Dicks. Did he write that? I mean, that's one of my favorite Target book covers. I mean, over about a year and a half ago, I did a video about my top 10 favorite Target book covers, and I'm pretty sure that Terror of the Autons was one of those. It's been so long that I can't actually remember. Rich Hopkins, hello sir, says new effects were a great improvement, particularly the reworks CGI. CGI. Yeah. Joseph Adam, hello Joseph, how you doing? Says I might show my girlfriend the Tom Baker season with Revenge of the Cybermen. Yeah, that's interesting. If here's another question that we can perhaps thread through this live stream. If you were going to introduce someone who was unfamiliar with classic Doctor Who to Doctor Who, which serial of classic Doctor Who would you show them? I think I might show them Earthshock with the CGI effects on, or Robots of Death. Robots of Death is still so good. I mean, it's timeless. It's as timeless, in fact, as the Art Deco elements of the design. Richard Judge, hello Richard, how you doing, sir? Not a special edition as such, says Richard, but the Mind of Evil restoration is astonishing, especially when you think it was not long ago that you could only see it in black and white. Yeah, that's true. You see, I must admit, I'm pretty bad at keeping up with all this stuff. I kind of forget. But yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. I'm probably the least appreciative fan in terms of keeping up with what version of, which stories are still in existence, or which are black and white, or which used to be black and white. I can't remember any of that stuff. I probably haven't got the best memory going, all told. Ray Morey has his crystal ball out. I can see a pattern and think the next collection release will be a Peter Davison season, because Janet Fielding was seen on location and was asked what she was doing and replied by saying Doctor Who. Yeah, I mean, there's been talk about, I think, season 20 for a long time, isn't there? I should point out, by the way, that I have zero knowledge about what is happening with the collection range and what's coming out next after season 24, isn't it? Yeah, Sylvester. G-Man Panthro, I remember that name. Hello, G-Man Panthro. My fave doc was Terence and Me. It's got me started collecting the Target novels and has never owned any before. Wow, that's great. You started last week and you've collected 77 of them. How many of those came in one great big batch, G-Man? That is good going. Geigerpunk would show a newcomer to classic Doctor Who, City of Death. Which one would you choose to show them? Oh yeah, City of Death is a pretty good one, isn't it? It's kind of light and breezy, and it's got sci-fi in it, and it's got a really horrible, disturbing moment with a scientist who gets zapped. And it's got the great line, as Geigerpunk goes on to say, "Isn't your butler wonderful? He's so violent." Yeah. G-Man Panthro says, I would show a non-Who person Spearhead from space. First episode in colour, first time we see the Autons, and the first of a great run of Third Doctor. Fair enough. I must admit, last time I watched Spearhead from space, I know this is blasphemy, but I wasn't loving it so much. I think I need to revisit it, but I think it was the way it looked. I think it's the fact that it was shot on film that kind of weirded me out a bit. Joseph Adams says, I won't be collecting 60s Who on Blu-ray. I'm quite happy on DVDs. Just John Pertwee to Sylvester McCoy. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, everyone makes their own decision as to what they want from the collection series and what they don't want. And, you see people on YouTube saying that they're not going to buy the collection Blu-rays at all. Although I saw one guy whose name, I'm sorry, I can't remember. He did a popular video about how he wasn't going to buy the collection Blu-rays, and then did another video about how he was. That's good stuff, isn't it? G-Man bought loads from the Target, loads of Target books from the Who Won website. Interesting, Who Won. Yeah. Lindsay says, the first classic story my son watched was The Ark in Space. He loved it. Oh, nice. So how did he... Now, The Ark in Space, that's got updated special effects, right? Am I misremembering that? It does, doesn't it? And did you turn the updated special effects on? Do you reckon that had any bearing on your son's opinion? Lewis Frisbee would show Survival because it's a bridge between new and classic Doctor Who, and the Five Doctors because it is, I believe, 1 hour and 30 minutes. So that is near to a Christmas New Year special runtime. Wow, I tell you, the Five Doctors. I mean, I love the Five Doctors. Could be a baptism in fire for a newcomer, perhaps. Or they might love it. I mean, who's not going to love that Raston Warrior robot massacre, eh? Yeah. I'm just scrolling up because I'm sure I've missed stuff. Yeah. If you're just joining us, we're talking about this box set and our favourite special features on it. I'm going to talk about the recent reissues news for the collection series with reissues of stripped down versions of seasons 12 and 19. I've got some Doctor Who vinyl here, which I might even open up if you're all very good. Yes. And completely unconnected to that, if anyone who sends me a super chat donation, which you can do by, I think there's like a dollar symbol rather crassly at the bottom of this live feed. Anyone who sends me a super chat donation of any amount gets their username put on that board, so you get immortalized, a bit like Rassilon in the Five Doctors. Sorry about that, that's a bit of a spoiler, isn't it? Earlier on I said I don't do any spoilers, and I just done one by mistake. Sorry about that. Still got hairs on me. I'm distracted by this. I'm a very careless shaver, you know, very careless. Yeah. Now, look out, someone has just hurled a super chat at me like some kind of superhero. Hey, it's Remedia Video. And accompanying this, Remedia Video has put dum-da-dum-dum-da-dum-da-dum-da-dum-da-dum-da-dum. I think that's a fair approximation of the Doctor Who theme tune. I don't want to sing it properly because I might get a copyright strike on this video or something. Thank you so much, Remedia Video. Your name is literally going on to this board now. Remedia Video, it's one word. So we're also talking about, if you've just joined us again, if we're talking about if you were going to introduce a newcomer to classic Doctor Who, which serial would you show them? I think that's an interesting question. I like that. Thank you. I can't remember exactly who inspired that question, but thank you. And thank you to Remedia Video. In your honor, we are going to make the lights flash in the background. Yeah. How'd you like those apples? I certainly do. I certainly do. Awesome. Thanks, Remedia. You rock. Okay, now let's catch up. Let's see what has been happening while I've been scribbling a name on a board. Dario 108. Hello, Dario. I remember your name. The original Ark in Space effects look a bit Button Moon now. We're off to Button Moon. No, I better not sing any theme tunes. As I said, YouTube is a bit, well, understandably funny about copyright, and so it should be, really. Ray Morey. Hello, Ray. Now, Ray is answering the question of which classic Doctor Who serial we would show to a newcomer, a not we, if you will. Ray says, you can't go wrong with the talons of Weng Chiang with the new special effects. Awesome. And guess who hasn't watched the talons of Weng Chiang with the new special effects yet? I know, and it's one of my favorite things ever, talons of Weng Chiang. I think one of my problems, I don't know about you, but I've just got too much stuff to watch, got too many options. We all kind of do these days, don't we? Those of us, especially those of us who can afford like the odd streamer service, you know, you got Netflix, and it's like Netflix is like an eager child just sort of dying to show you something, isn't it? James Gent has an opinion on the classic serial question, Remembrance of the Daleks. Geigerpunk is very observant. Oh, by the way, James, I think that's a very good. I think that's a very good choice. Remembrance of the Daleks is very, still feels pretty contemporary, doesn't it? And it's got some really good effects, like sort of a full-size spaceship landing in a school playground. Geigerpunk says, "Blimey, been tidying. We can see floor. Yeah, I have been tidying. Yeah, it's that time of year, spring cleaning, isn't it? Yeah, I can actually see the living room floor as well. It's absolutely astonishing." Lindsay, in answer to my question about whether she showed the Ark in Space to her son with the updated special effects or not. Lindsay says he actually likes the original story, not bothered about the special effects. Wow. Aha, super chat. Hello, Yvonne. I'm going to write your name on this board. Thank you so much. Actually, I'm going to turn the lights off so I can turn them on again in your honor in a minute after I put your name on the board. Yvonne Okafor, thank you so much for that super chat donation. I shall spend it all on probably Doctor Who DVDs, to be honest. Yeah, fair enough, isn't it? Yvonne Okafor, I'm going to get this right. Thank you, Yvonne. Yvonne, that's a good name. I like that spelling of Yvonne. Yeah, look, yeah, you can see the floor. This is like a world exclusive of my floor, isn't it? Yeah. Okafor, sorry. There we go. I want to make sure I get it right. I don't want any unsightly scribblings out on this board. Yeah, you can see the floor. That's pretty good. New creator box set there. I don't know how well you can see that. I did an unboxing video about that one. Lovely. Thank you, Yvonne. And I am going to make the lights flash in your honor. And no sooner have I sat down than another kind soul has sprung up in the feed. Oh, by the way, when Yvonne sent me her super chat, she also, in her message with it, she wrote series 14 or 15, Prime Fourth Doctor. Yeah. Absolutely, Yvonne. I really want 15 because it's got 3 of my favorite stories at least. It's got Horror of Fang Rock, Invisible Enemy, Invasion of Time. Oh my God. And I might have made a video about that. Yeah, I'm sure you might have seen it already, or I could tell you what it is. Yeah, and Yvonne says, I was born with an E, not a Y. Yeah, it's really cool. And funnily enough, it's kind of, your name is spelt how a lot of people might expect Yvonne to be spelt. So that's probably handy, isn't it? Or is it? I don't know. Does it get confusing at the post office and stuff? Tim Berry, thank you so much for your very generous super chat. You're a very kind man. I'm going to write your name on the board now. Along with his super chat, Tim says, Genesis of the Daleks, a great story. A friend of mine got into Who when watched my old VHS many years ago. Yeah, actually, I can see how Genesis of the Daleks could be a good intro to Doctor Who because, well, it's got Daleks in it. People love Daleks, don't they? It's got Davros. It's got a great performance there from Michael Wisher. And it's also clearly about something, isn't it, Genesis of the Daleks? I mean, it couldn't be much more blatant in its Nazi allegory. And so I think people coming to Genesis of the Daleks would appreciate how it's about something and it's not just about a load of robots shooting lasers at each other in space. It's about a load of robots shooting lasers at each other on Earth. No, on Skaro. Tim Berry, thank you very much. What a lovely bloke. There we go, Mr. Berry. Look at that. The Hall of Fame is filling up. Lovely work. And I'm going to make the lights flash for you, Tim. Don't say I never do anything for you. Yeah, the lights are flashing. It's all happening. Geigerpunk says, is that a mini Terminator down there? You've been to Specsavers recently, haven't you? That is a mini Terminator down there. Yeah, there he is. He's got a gun. You can't quite see the gun. Yeah, he's got a big gun there, which is nice. Brilliant. Fade. Thank you, Tim. Marvelous. Now, Joseph Adams says, I can't wait to watch The Faceless Ones and Fury from the Deep. Might be arriving on Wednesday with my snacks. Wow, that's a great delivery, isn't it? The Faceless Ones, Fury from the Deep, and some snacks. Loving that. You know how to order stuff. Nathan Mann. Hello, Nathan Mann. How you doing? I really want Sarah Jane's first series to be released on Blu-ray, if only to see the Beeb try and sort out Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Love the hokey effects, but having seen what they did with Kinder, oh, controversial. There's a talking point. You know what? I revisited Invasion of the Dinosaurs a couple of months ago, and I've got to say, I was really impressed with the effects. You know, I think for the time, I think they did an amazing job. I would never have a go at them for those effects, honestly, myself. And as you say, Nathan, you love the hokey effects. I mean, of course, they're hokey. It's not like I'm sitting there thinking, well, that's just like walking with dinosaurs. But how did they manage to get some actual dinosaurs for this? But, you know, I think given the time, I think it's really impressive. LFK Picks. Hello, LFK Picks. Looking forward to April the 12th when it'll be possible to go to HMV. Yeah, now you're talking my language. And I'll probably get myself the Fury animation. Brilliant. Yeah. I made a video about going to HMV in early December, I think it was. I can't remember exactly. I think it was before a lockdown anyway. Maybe it was early November. Anyway, there's a video on my channel. If you look in the Doctor Who playlist, you'll find, not right now, obviously, but you'll find a video about me going to HMV and buying a load of DVDs and then showing them to you one by one. The Idiot of Fandom. That's a lovely name, isn't it? The Idiot of Fandom. Hello, the Idiot of Fandom. The dinosaur puppets are iconic. Yeah, I agree. They are iconic. Absolutely. Jimmy He Be Dead. Hello, Jimmy He Be Dead. Hello, says Jimmy He Be Dead. And to you, sir, I say hello and all. Lindsay is further saying that her son has started watching many classic episodes. Her son is 10, and he prefers them to a lot of the new Who. Loved the 5 Doctors and Arc of Infinity. Wow. Actually, I can see how a kid would love the Ergon. The Ergon gets it's a hell of a lot of bad press, doesn't it? But I think I really like the Ergon. It's kind of like a chicken with a gun, isn't it? Yeah. Dinosaurs. Jimmy He Be Dead says dinosaurs wouldn't have been easy on a 70s BBC budget. At least they tried. Yeah, I mean, isn't that incredible, really, that there was presumably some kind of meeting in which someone said, can we do dinosaurs in Doctor Who in the 70s? Obviously, they wouldn't have said in the 70s because everyone present would have been well aware of the context of the time period. But yeah, someone said, can we do dinosaurs? And then someone else went, well, give it a go. Yeah. A few dinosaurs, that should be all right, shouldn't it? Horror Vengeance. G-Man Panthro says the T-Rex reminds me of the Chewits adverts of yesteryear. I love the phrase of yesteryear added on the end there. Thank you, G-Man. Loving that. Hello, Who Crusader. Bruh, this is cool. Thank you very much. Glad you think so. It's cool that you've joined us. Ryan Tablet is here. Hello, Jason. Hello, Ryan Tablet. Great to have you here. I recognize your name, of course. The Idiot of Fandom says the first classic story I saw when I was 6 was Terror of the Autons. Love the new special edition on the Blu-ray. So, the Idiot of Fandom, what I need to know now is exactly how traumatized you were by watching Terror of the Autons at the age of 6. How traumatized were you on a scale from 1 to 666, with 666 being the most traumatized? Yeah. Geigerpunk says, glad someone's enjoyed Arc of Infinity. Ooh. I mean, yeah, it's not a perfect. One thing I don't understand about Arc of Infinity, and I suspect that the answer lies in copyright and contracts, is why did they change Omega's mask? I mean, having said that, I do quite like the new mask, but it's not a patch on the old one from the 3 Doctors. Dog Meme says to me, have you played the Lonely Assassin game yet? If so, was it good? I haven't. Is that the one with the Weeping Angels? Is that the found footage phone game? By the way, if you'd like a bit of phone found footage, then either of those books over there will do you all right, namely The Last Days of Jack Sparks and Ghoster. Anyone else played? I haven't played Lonely Assassin or Assassins. Has anyone? If so, let's let me know, and I'll let Dogbeam know. Joseph Adams says, I'd like to see Pyramids of Mars or Two Doctors in high definition. Well, you're not alone there, Joseph. Yeah, certainly, especially Pyramids of Mars for me. I do quite like the Two Doctors because it's just from that period of Doctor Who that was just absolutely bang out of order. It was just so ridiculously violent, a bit like Count Scarleone's Butler. I asked the idiot of fandom how traumatized he was at the age of 6 by Terror of the Autons, from 1 on a scale from 1 to 666, and he replies 666. The policeman mask scene really freaked me out. Yeah, I bet it did. And the dreaded doll. Yeah, that's, oh god, 6 though. That's quite young. Although, of course, as I say that, I'm mindful that I started watching Doctor Who when I was 4. Yeah, I was watching, like, you know, The Hand of Fear and The Deadly Assassin and Pyramids of Mars and having nightmares, and was convinced the Master was in the house with his grandfather clock. But, you know, I don't regret, as you might expect, a moment of it. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror. That's a great username. Says, when do you think any black and white seasons will come out? And obviously, Doctor Who fan 2004 horror is presumably, almost certainly, talking about this series of Blu-ray sets, the collection. Sorry, I'm only doing that to illustrate things. I'm not actually sponsored by the BBC, in case you're wondering. I just think it's nice to look at, isn't it? You know, Lee Binding's artwork. When do we think any Doctor Who black and white seasons will come out? That's a good question. I wonder. I mean, I'm going to be delighted when that does actually happen. I'd like to have the Chase on Blu-ray. I know that's a weird choice, probably seems a bit random, but I really like the Chase. And I'd like to have sort of new behind-the-scenes content about the Chase, because I'm fascinated by how it was made, and you know, there's a good behind-the-scenes thing on the DVD. But I want more. Always want more. G-Man Panthro says, have you got the Doctor Who magazine 561 special issue with a target wall chart? Yes, I do. And not only do I have it, but I made a video, G-Man Panthro, in which I unboxed it. Yeah, I pulled that thing out of its bag and did a whole video on it. So if you have a look in the Doctor Who playlist at some point, you'll find that in there. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he says, can't wait to frame the wall chart of Target book covers. Yeah, that thing is amazing. And yeah, good point. Might even have to get another one to show the other side. Yeah. Simon Mallison says he was put in front of the TV from months old. Months. Wow. The music from Revenge of the Cybermen freaks me out still. Wow. Mario Bowser 494. Hello to you. Yeah, Yvonne Okafor, very generous. Yvonne Okafor, whose name is on this board, thanks to her super chat donation, was also wondering when the 60s series will be coming out. I mean, as I understand it, I mean, you know, just to erase any doubt, I'm not like an official source of info on the collection series. I might get to hear the odd bit before most people, I guess, especially if I'm doing. I happen to know about the season 24 box set before it was announced, because I wrote a feature for Doctor Who magazine about Pete McTeague's 24 carat trailer for that box set. But yeah, anyway, sorry, Yvonne. Yeah, as I understand it, they're totally intending to bring all the seasons out on Blu-ray in whatever form they can. And I think to that end, I think it makes sense to kind of, you know, inevitably the earlier seasons are going to be left longer, either because animated versions of missing stories are going to be made, I suppose, or just because, I don't know, I suppose there's a lot more preparation that is going to have to go into those things, especially when it comes to, you know, the HD process, of which I clearly understand nothing. James Gent says that the chase is daft fun in a good way. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Bradley Walsh is a good presenter, isn't he? Ho ho ho, hey hey. Yeah, it is daft fun in a good way. I really like the episodic nature of the chase. I really enjoyed revisiting that, and I love mechanoids. Oh my god, those mechanoids are so cool. That climactic battle between the Daleks and the mechanoids in the chase is amazing. You know, even with the sort of the bits of slightly cheesy animation that are thrown in there, it's great. Sorry, just scrolling. Ray Morey, possibly inspired by my mention of the Deadly Assassin, remembers Mary Whitehouse trying to ban the Deadly Assassin, especially the scene with the Doctor drowning. Yeah, well, she tried to ban everything, didn't she? She probably tried to ban her own elbows, which she was probably unable to distinguish from her arse. That was quite Alan Partridge-like, wasn't it? From her arse. And that was a bit like Bruce Forsyth. Geiger Punk says, the chase is so silly. It is so silly. It's got Dracula in it and Frankenstein and everything, and a completely pointless visit to the top of the Empire State Building. It's got Peter Purvis doing two different roles. LFK Pick says, hi there, I was just wondering if you had to do a ranking of the design of the collection box sets, what would your order be? Oh god, I'd have to look at the covers again. That could be a good video idea. Thank you, LFK Picks. I think I'll probably do some kind of ranking video when we get to when the 10th box set is released. I think that'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? And also, once we reach the halfway point, imagine when we reach 13 box sets, probably next year, I guess. Yeah, it must be next year, mustn't it? Then we'll be halfway through. As Bon Jovi sang so memorably, whoa, we're halfway there. Oh, building the collection. I want the Invasion on Blu-ray, says Doctor Who fan 2004 horror. Yes, I want the Invasion on Blu-ray. I watched that quite recently as well and really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was. I say that. I mean, I think it's far too long. I can remember when I was first watching it, I'd forgotten how long it is, and I thought it was like 6 episodes maybe. So when it turned out to be no, I thought it was 4, and it's 6. Is that right? I feel like I'm still wrong. How many episodes in the Invasion? Someone tell me. Put me out of my misery. Geiger Punk says she was a miserable bat, wasn't she? Yes, she was. Absolutely. The White House. Geiger Punk reminds me as well that the chase features a Dalek taking a dive off a ship. It does, while screaming and being revealed to contain nothing inside its shell. That's a bit unfortunate, but at the same time, though, I was amazed that they got a shot of like the side of a ship and some water. I mean, I think that the current show would probably be quite hard pressed to do that. Well, I mean, maybe not, but what I'm saying is the 60s thing, the 1965 chase was pretty impressive for managing to do that. Yeah. Oh, 8 parts. Geiger Punk's trying to fool me by saying 12T, but even I know that that's not a real number. Silly. 8 parts, yeah. The Invasion's too long at 8 parts for me. That's my major criticism of it, but I'm prepared to forgive it because I love the cyber planner. The cyber planner. Yeah, or the cyber controller. Cyber planner, of course it is. Why can't I remember anything? The thing is with this channel, you don't come to this channel for like an encyclopedic cast iron knowledge of the show. I'd imagine what you come to this channel for more so is a load of enthusiasm and a load of nostalgia. Yeah, definitely better at that than remembering all the stuff. But anyway, the cyber planner, if that's indeed what it's called, I love its voice. It has been decided. It's so cool. I'll tell you who else is so cool is Jimmy He Be Dead, who has just super chatted me a £5. You diamond, Jimmy. Thank you so much. And Jimmy has attached a message to his donation. Let's read that message. He says, do you think that when they come to releasing missing stories with no existing footage or audio, then they might just hire sound-alike actors? Now, again, I'm showing my forgetfulness. It's a really good question. But my first question is, are there any, what are the missing stories with no existing footage or audio? Don't we have audio of it all? I don't know. I hadn't really considered that. I think for some reason I had assumed we do, but do we? I mean, sound-alike actors. Yeah, I mean, when you get to that point, Jimmy, it's interesting, isn't it? What are they going to do? Your name might obviously not be Jimmy, by the way. I'm calling you Jimmy just for the sake of, you know, calling you something. But thank you so much. Jimmy He Be Dead is going on the Hall of Fame. And in the meantime, you can admire my floor. Jimmy He Be Dead. Earlier, in case you're just joining us, we're also talking about the question of if we were going to introduce a new person or a newcomer to Doctor Who, which classic serial would we use to introduce them to Who with? And there's been some really good replies. Thank you so much, Jimmy He Be Dead. I'm going to make the lights in the background flash in your honor because you rock. Ryan Tablet says, what's the longest story? Do you mean in Doctor Who history, Ryan? Catching up. Mario Bowser 494 says, in answer to Jimmy's question, that all the missing stories do have audio. Yeah, thank God for that as well. Wouldn't it be terrible if I'd never even considered that possibility, I think, because I'd assumed that we still have the audio of them all. But imagine if there was a story where nothing remained. That would be horrific. Not even telesnaps. That would kind of make a story absolutely legendary, wouldn't it? Because you'd have to just go on, you know, eyewitness accounts of people who watched it in 1964 or something. Ray Morey points out that Kevin Stoney played a great villain as Vaughn in The Invasion. Yeah, he is brilliant. What a great villain. He's so watchable. So, in answer to the longest story, Doctor Who fan 2004 horror says the Trial of the Time Lord at 14 parts. I suppose, yeah, if we do take the Trial of the Time Lord as one long story, then yeah, that's true. Here is, and I haven't shown you this yet, I've only just got this. Here is one of the longest Doctor Who stories. Look how gorgeous this thing is. This is a vinyl box set of the Daleks Master Plan, the first Doctor story, which I think is 12 episodes long. Yeah, wow. I'm probably going to do an unboxing video for this one because I just think it's beautiful, isn't it? What do you think? Yeah, marvelous. So, the longest, the War Games is long as well. At 10 episodes. The War Games is right. Yes, I'm glad you like the Jimmy and Lewis. I'm glad you like and James. Glad you like that Daleks Master Plan set. Pretty special, isn't it? I'll show you again in a minute. I just can't get enough of looking at it. How many records in that box set? Says Dario. That's a good question. That's a good excuse to show you again, isn't it? Trying to get the light right because it's still in its wrapper. It doesn't say how many. It doesn't say how many records, but it feels like quite a few. I reckon it could be. Actually, if you have it, you probably have. Yeah, you have an episode per. An episode is one side of vinyl, isn't it? Because the Horror of Fang Rock that I did a video about quite recently, by the way, if you haven't seen that, the vinyl edition of the Horror of Fang Rock, that's 2 discs, 4 episodes, episode on each side. So that'd be 6 vinyls, I reckon. Yeah, I don't know if there's an extra disc, so to speak, an extra platter. Dario 108 says it looks heavy. It's pretty heavy. I could probably, you know, build up some muscle just with a bit of I could like build up muscle while admiring it. That'd be great. The Doc 2, the first person on the Hall of Fame tonight, says yes, audio is available for the BBC from the BBC of every single episode, though the quality of some might vary a lot. James Gent says your unboxing of Fang Rock sorely tempted me. The Rutan Blob vinyl looks amazing, and it's a good story to listen to. Yeah, it is. It is. I love horror Fang Rock. I mean, just in general, I love that story. Oh, sorry, I left the lights flashing. I always do that. Come on. There we go. Okay, they won't flash again until, or if, someone sends me another super chat, and their name goes on that board. So, Doctor Who fan 2004 horror has supplied me with a perfect segue. He or she says unto me, what do you think of the standard Doctor Who collection box sets? Well, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's we can still continue with the previous threads that we've established in this chat, such as which classic Doctor Who serial would you show to a newcomer to Doctor Who as an introduction, and also what's your favorite special feature so far on this. So what do we think? I mean, this is big news. I mean, I kind of, in normal circumstances, I would have made a video about this because I think it's, you know, it's pretty seismic stuff for the collection range, isn't it? Because basically what this press release tells us is that each Doctor Who the collection box set that's been previously released rather, is going to be reissued in a stripped down version, which has fewer kind of bells and whistles, but still has, and I think this is key, it still has all the stuff. You know, it's not like there's fewer special features or fewer episodes. I mean, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? It's got all the stuff, and the packaging is just a bit more modest. Yeah. So what do we think about it? Let's let me just summarize a few of the differences for you in case you're unaware or it's interesting to talk about. I'd like to hear your opinions. Will you be, I mean, for instance, if you haven't bought any of the collection box sets so far, are you going to start with these ones? And also, if you have bought some collection box sets, but you've missed out on some of the earlier ones, do you think you're going to buy these reissues rather than, you know, spending ridiculous amounts of money on eBay? So yeah, these reissues of seasons 12 and 9 will come in what the press release describes as standard plastic Blu-ray case inside a slipcase, which is interesting. I mean, I think it's nice. I mean, they're not that stripped down, are they? Because they're still in a slipcase, which is pretty cool, and we still have the artwork. So you got the slipcase, which as you might notice there, I wish I'd printed this out in color, although it would have been a bit difficult because my printer is black and white, because I only really tend to use it for printing out novels and things like that I've written. Novels such as those over there. Anyway, yeah, I think it might irk a few fans, and I can understand why, that these reissues have the kind of the Blu-ray strip across the top there. And I can imagine, I mean, I feel it myself, you know, if I was going to mix them up, I think I'd be irritated by how ununiform they'll look on our shelves. You know, if we have a mixture of these reissues and these, which clearly do not have the Blu-ray strip. I mean, obviously another difference, it seems to me, is is going to be the thickness of the spines. I would imagine that, say for instance, the eventual, and this will happen by the way, every, you know, from now on, every collection box set that comes out, there'll be a gap of, I don't know, a few months, I'm assuming, and that is just conjecture there. And then the standard stripped down edition of each box set will then come out. And so this will eventually, at some point, get a reissue. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes them to catch up, actually. But anyway, this will not soon get a reissue. I mean, this will eventually get a reissue. And I'd imagine the spine will be half the width of this, because these box sets don't have an individual plastic tray for each disc like these do. Obviously, I'm sure you've all seen these, but just you know, I'm on camera, so I might as well visually illustrate stuff, eh? And obviously I did an unboxing video for this, so you might want to catch up with that sometime if you missed that. Each of these discs, oh, doesn't it smell nice? I love that smell of like new media. New physical media. Yeah, physical media smells a lot better than digital media, doesn't it? It's funny how that works. Yeah, so anyway, each disc is like a luxury package, isn't it? And each disc has its own tray, whereas on these ones I would imagine it's going to be a bit more like they'll still be like, for instance, 8 discs, but they'll be maybe like just one sort of tray inside the set, and it's got like 4 discs on each side of it or something like that, or 2 discs on each side of it. You know what, you know the sort of thing I'm saying, like a sort of maybe a swinging plastic tray inside the box. And again, this is just speculation on my part, I don't know. There'll be none of this type of business, this kind of luxury business, which is obviously a shame, but that's part of the stripped down nature. I mean, we don't know, you know, exactly what these things are going to look like inside exactly, do we? So that would be interesting to see. And obviously I'm looking forward, I'm going to do my best to get these box sets 12 and 19 to unbox for you. But they will come with a booklet, which I think is really cool. Now, what it is a condensed version of the booklet, and as far as I can tell, it's a condensed version in the sense that it's kind of got, I think it's going to be just a breakdown of what's on each disc, which is fine. You know, it's kind of like a functional bit of information, and so it'll probably lose, these booklets will lose the essays that you find, you know, the kind of historical type essays that you find on these booklets. In fact, I've got it here. Yeah, here's the season 8 booklet, and of course, yeah, these booklets are really kind of rich in detail, and look at all that text. Whereas, so you've got, like, say for instance, you've got Terror of the Autons there. I'd imagine that the booklet in a stripped down version of this will just have this information, which is the breakdown of what's on the discs, and it won't have this bit that follows with the history of the show. I mean, again, I think, let me see if it says, I wonder where I got that idea from. I'm pretty sure that that's what that means. So yeah, oh, here we go. It's condensed standard printed. A condensed standard printed. I'm not sure what that means. It might mean that the little bit less glossy. I'm not sure. Might. I've got no idea. A condensed standard printed 12-page booklet featuring disc breakdowns and selected illustrations. So there'll still be a few of those lovely illustrations in there. God, there's some lovely stuff in this. Where's that Axos one? Yeah. Gotta love that. It's not focusing very well. You get the general gist, right? Yes. So yeah, what do we think? What do we think? Just catching up on your words there. So those are the main differences. The sort of the actual box, the condensed booklet, and that's kind of the main thing, really. I mean, it's not like, and obviously there's no kind of outer, I mean, then again, there is an outer thing in the sense that there's like a slipcase. And so I don't feel like it's a, you know, it's not like it's not going to feel like a budget version as far as I can see. It doesn't look very budget to me. And in fairness, the price doesn't look too budget either. I'm just going to have a look on Amazon as we speak. Now, the recommended retail price in this press release is like 51 quid, which feels like quite a lot for a stripped down version, doesn't it? But the Amazon price is less. Yeah, the Amazon price is still £37.99, which is less than the average box set. So certainly a lot less than the collection box sets end up at when they end up on eBay. People making money out of them like absolute terrors. So there we are. what do we think? What do we think? 12 and 19 are coming out. Are you going to get them? What do we think of these stripped down versions? Ray Morey says it's similar to what they get in Australia and America. Yeah, I've had people sort of telling me that the American box sets are probably more stripped down than these 12 and 9 reissues that are coming out. So it kind of feels like these UK reissued versions, the standard versions, are going to be somewhere between these and the American releases. Anyone from America here? Can you kind of confirm this? Celt or Celt 80, hello Celt 80 says behind the sofa is a feature I enjoy most. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, Lewis, have I been saying 12 and 9? Yeah, it's not seasons 12 and 9. It's 12 and 19. Sorry about that. Don't know how many times I said that. Probably lots. But yeah, it's Tom Baker's first season and Peter Davidson's first season, isn't it? James Gent says of the Spine saga, mismatched spines is a Doctor Who fan's burden. In brackets, looks at Target Library and VHS tapes. Oh God, VHS tapes, don't even start me off. They changed that around. Anonymous Bear says America doesn't have the disc artwork or anything saying what's on each disc. Thank you, Anonymous Bear. It doesn't have anything saying what's on each disc. Oh, you mean like in the booklet and stuff? Oh, I see. So you just have to put the discs in and have a look. Yeah. Richard West says, I so wish I'd grabbed all the limited editions. It's disgusting the prices they charge on eBay. Yeah. It's kind of created a bit of a cottage industry, isn't it? Where people, you know, snap up the limited edition version of the collection sets when they come out and then sell them on eBay. I don't know, if you sell them like a year later, you're going to make a few £100. Although now you won't, because I think the price of the limited edition sets is going to come down because there's not going to be such a you know, a premium on them in the fans' minds. It's not. We're no longer going to think now or never. I mean, there was the odd reissue, wasn't there? The season 12 did get a limited reissue, and I think maybe, I don't know, who knows? BBC Studios might not have planned to do this for a year or two yet, but maybe seeing that so many fans wanted some of these earlier sets, you know, like 10 or 19 or whatever, or 18. Maybe they kind of decided to do it sooner than they were planning to. I don't know. Chris Mail says, is this the American perspective, Chris? I think so. Seasons 12 and 10, the box sets are slimline, but others are a bit thicker. Chris Mail also says some also have a cardboard sleeve and others don't. G-Man Panthro says, is that ruby grapefruit juice you've got there? No, it's Robinson's Summer Fruits Squash. I am a big fan of it. Big fan. Anonymous Bear says US ones are also numbered differently and vary in size. Oh yeah, I'm not keen on this US numbering. Sorry, folks over there. Not that it's your fault, obviously. So season 12 is called Tom Baker season 1. No. I mean, it makes it a lot easier to remember. I mean, I'm not very good at remembering, you know. In fact, I hardly knew what any of the seasons were, if I'm perfectly honest, apart from the odd one. I didn't know what any of the season numbers were until the collection series came along. I think it's probably educated quite a lot of us. Yeah. Alan Finley. Hello, Alan. I have 4 of the US box sets that are region free, but I will pick up these editions. Yeah. Chris Mail says, yes, I'm talking about the American box sets, although I actually live in Hove, just down the road from you. Yes, I'm in Brighton, of course. Yes, Brighton is a good place to live. Hopefully you've found lockdown a bit easier, Chris, as I have, when you've got like some nice scenery and a seafront to stroll along. Roger Hall, hello Roger. He says, hi Jason, I almost missed out on season 12. I think Roger means the reissue, but saw your video about the reissue and got it. Thanks, mate. You are welcome, Roger. I'm really glad you ordered that. Yeah. Jimmy Jam here says, that's an interesting username. Says Region 1, which is US and Canada, gets the new John Pertwee set June the 1st. Is that right? Okay, so you get this one June the 1st. My birthday. Obviously, that's one for you all to put on the calendars immediately. Yes. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror says, can you get the mini Terminator out? I love the franchise. Go on then. A friend gave me this, and he's got a voice thing going on. He's got buttons. He's got buttons on his back. So let's press one at random, shall we? Actually, let's sort out his gun first. That looks a bit rubbish, doesn't it? It's all right.
I'll be back.
Of course he's going to say that.
I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby.
One button does nothing. God, that's got a kick on it. There we go. Marvelous. He's off to try and kill Sarah Connor again. He's a proper sod for doing that, isn't he? He loves it. Geiger Punk says, Brighton, as made famous by the book Ghoster, available at all good bookshops and several disreputable ones now. Actually, in seriousness, the audio book of Ghoster is, I think, just 99p at the moment. So you might want to have a look. There'll be a link down in the video description for Ghoster. So if you like audiobooks and you like scary books, kind of contemporary scary horror stories, then have a look down in the video description. Pick up Ghoster on audiobook for 99p. Anyway, back to Doctor Who. I mean, I'm happy, by the way, for anyone to bring up any subject during these live streams. It's just, Doctor Who is a popular subject on this channel, isn't it? So it's always a reliable one to anchor a live stream about. Harry Hudson, hello Harry, says, is it worth getting the reissue even though the packaging is a downgrade, or to either find a good enough price for a second-hand limited edition, or if they ever re-release the limited editions? I get the impression, I mean, again, I'm not an official source at all, but I get the impression that the fact that the standard editions are coming in means that the limited editions are very unlikely to be re-released. That's just my instinct on it, my guess. But it kind of makes sense logically, doesn't it? Because you wouldn't really want to introduce these standard editions and then re-release the limited editions down the line. But I'll tell you something that is great. I think there's lots of great things about the standard editions that are coming out now. It's going to stop people from getting, so-called scalped on eBay by people charging high prices. But it's also, I think it's a really sad idea. Like, imagine if this came out. Sorry, Arnie, his gun just fell off. Wouldn't it be sad if, like the Chris Chapman docs? I know I keep going on about them, but they're so damn good. If this box set, I don't know how, I've got no idea. I mean, that'd be an interesting video in itself, trying to speculate on how many of each of these box sets was made. But I think it'd be a shame if these documentaries, if Terence and Me only ever existed on this particular limited box set, and then it was never kind of released again. So I think it's great. I mean, hopefully the standard, I think it was Scotty B, a viewer called Scotty B, who asked whether would the standard editions be limited edition? And I didn't really know what to say to that. I mean, I suppose everything technically is limited edition, isn't it? But I'd imagine they're going to keep them more available. I mean, maybe that is a kind of format that they'll be able to make more of, sort of easier, because these things can't be easy to make. I don't even know how you'd go about mass producing something like these limited editions. Jimmy Jam here says, I already have all of the classic stories, but I buy the Blu-ray sets because there's always a bunch of new stuff. Yeah, isn't there just? What does the new Pertwee set have? Well, that's a very good question. There's loads of stuff. There's 3 great documentaries. There's more than 3 great documentaries. I mean, there's too much stuff to sum up right now, Jimmy. But I did do an unboxing video of this. So if you look back a few videos, you'll see the whole unboxing video, and I do go through a lot of the special features on there. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. This is really, as you can see from the spine, it's pretty fat. It's got like an omnibus version of the Daemons for a start. I haven't watched that yet. Has anyone watched the omnibus version of the Daemons? There's Matthew Sweet chatting to Katie Manning, who of course played Jo Grant. There's a new extended edit of the opening episode of Claws of Axos. Who has watched that? I haven't watched it yet. Ridiculous. Especially as Claws of Axos is my favorite story from this season. Dario108 says, I think they said 5,000 of each limited edition, each. I said, I'll just put my teeth back in. I think they said 5,000 of each series, but that seems low. So obviously there you're talking about limited edition box sets, Dario. I mean, 5,000. I mean, to be honest with you, it seems about right, I would say. I don't know, it's hard to say. See, we're Doctor Who fans, and we kind of think that the show is more popular than it is. I mean, obviously it's enormous, but the classic Doctor Who universe is probably smaller than we think, because obviously to us it's everything, isn't it? So 5,000 doesn't seem unreasonable. The Doc 2 says, can you change the batteries in that Terminator when needed? That's a very good question. Yes. I don't know how to get that off, but I have to cross that bridge when I come to it. That button doesn't do anything. That's bothering me. Maybe it's sending a silent signal to one of those Terminator ships to come and obliterate my flat. He's not very steady on his feet, this Arnie. Stop it. Look, look. If I'm going to have to put you on the floor if you're going to carry on like that. Geiger Punk says they're nuclear powered. Jimmy Jam here says, I wish Region 1 got those cool sets. Yeah, I'm sorry that you don't. And I'm sorry that you generally have to wait like 3 months, don't you, before you get yours. That must be frustrating, watching everyone do their unboxing videos, people like me. And you're not going to get the box, and you're not going to get it for like 3 months. G-Man Panthro is telling me and you about the omnibus version of the Daemons. It's really good, doesn't detract from the story, and it's so good as a movie-style 90-minute version. So is it literally, I mean, as I understand it, an omnibus edition is literally the kind of the cliffhangers put together. So it kind of just seamlessly continues. I must admit, I don't think I like the idea of omnibus editions myself. And the main reason for that is I love the cliffhangers. It's sort of like a classic cliffhanger in the horror of Fang Rock has such impact that I don't really want to miss the scream of the Doctor Who music, the howl of the Doctor Who theme music when we reach each cliffhanger. Yeah. Alex says, strange the US don't get the limited sets and Australia do. Oh yeah, of course. Although, as I think I've spoken to a lot of people in Australia recently who have had real trouble getting the limited edition sets, because I don't think it's I'm actually a bit confused. Does the do the box sets get released domestically in Australia? Any Australian folks in the house? Probably not, actually, because it's about, isn't it about like 5 o'clock in the morning over there now? That's the thing with time differences. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror says, what's your favorite Doctor Who episode? Mine is Inferno. Cool. Yeah, that's a nice one to have. I don't know, you know, there's so many. I don't have one specific in mind. If you're asking what my favorite Peter Davison story is, that would be a lot easier, because I can tell you it's Earthshock. Oh my God, yes. Earthshock is just amazing. It's got everything. I'm a big fan of the Eric Saywood era. In fact, that just reminded me that I've never read Ian Marter's target novelization of Earthshock. It's so weird that Harry Sullivan did the, you know, I mean, obviously I realize it's not actually Harry Sullivan, but the bloke who played him. But it's weird that he did a novelization of Earthshock. Has anyone read that novelization? How is it? Let me know. Via the gift of words. Text. If you're just joining us, by the way, at the 75-minute mark, we're talking about your favorite special features on this. We're talking about how you feel about the recently announced standard edition reissues of the collection box set. We're also talking a bit about which classic Doctor Who serial you would show to a newcomer to the show to impress them and help acclimatize them to Doctor Who. Anyone who sends me a super chat via the live chat, the $ at the bottom, gets their name put on that board. And as a special bonus, I make the lights flash at the back. You can't get better than that. You literally can't. Did Jimmy Jam here says, did Web of Fear Blu-ray come out yet over there with the animated episode 3? No, it hasn't yet. And I don't believe there's even a release date for it. At the moment, but yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Jimmy, that the Web of Fear is getting another release, you know. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror says, when do you think season 21 will be coming out? I can't even remember which season that is. Is that the final Davidson season? As I said earlier, I'm just not an encyclopedia of knowledge. I'm terrible. Jimmy, he be dead. I've got 2 Jimmys in the house tonight. At least 2 Jimmys. He says, there are some times when I just want to watch the omnibuses when I fancy a bit of Who, but don't want to invest too much time. Well, that's interesting. Yes, I suppose it is condensed in terms of time, isn't it? But is actually anything missing from these omnibus editions? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Apart from kind of, you know, the resolution of a cliffhanger, for instance. Well, obviously the resolution is there, but the repeated bits that overlap between episodes, they're pruned out, aren't they? Alan Finley, hello Alan, says yes, Australia gets domestic releases, and so those releases, I'd be interested to see how much they differ from these limited ones. Are they pretty much the same? Geigerpunk says it's quite something that he wrote a book, as we all know, Harry Sullivan is an imbecile, as the Doctor memorably shouted in Revenge of the Cybermen. Yeah, Tom Baker getting his feet under the table nicely there in the first story. Dario 108 says, they said season 12 only had 2,000 originally, but then they made the extra 3,000 to complete the 5,000 to match the later releases. As a matter of interest, Dario, who is they in this account of? Is this BBC Studios themselves? I haven't been aware that they'd actually said how many copies of each were made. Geigerpunk says Sontaran Experiment is good if you're pushed for time. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Just like a little sort of snack of Doctor Who, 2 parts. Same goes for Black Orchid, of course, and The Edge of Destruction is very good if you're in a bit of a rush, if you're on your way out of the house. Reverse Art. Hello, Reverse Art. How you doing? Hi, have you heard of Doctor Who Trident? No, what is that? Is that a nuclear warhead with the Doctor Who logo on the side? That sounds disturbing. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror helped me out with telling me what season 21 is. Yes, it's the one with the first 80s Dalek story, Davidson's last season. Yeah. So it's got Resurrection of the Daleks in. I mean, yeah, I want Resurrection of the Daleks on Blu-ray, that's for sure. I like Resurrection of the Daleks. That is such a horrible story. And of course, you know me. I mean, I write books like that, and so to me, the word horrible is, it's a term of endearment. It's like a recommendation, isn't it? It's a badge of honor. Joseph Adams says quite an interesting point here. He says, I doubt if season 20 and 17 will be coming out until COVID-19 ends, because they have to go to Amsterdam and Paris. I remember someone saying, I think on Twitter, were Janet Fielding and co seen in Amsterdam or doing something that might have been related to season 20? I think that's maybe what started the season 20 is definitely next rumors that have been going on for about a year and a half. Dario 108 says, I can't remember who they were now. It was a while ago. Hold on, Dario. Were they like some bloke down the pub? Were they someone you got chatting to in the boozer? No, I know what it's like. Well, I mean, the internet is one big pub, isn't it? That's the thing. It is often hard to remember where you've heard stuff. Well, I mean, it's interesting, though. I mean, that sounds kind of plausible in terms of the numbers, Dario, I think. Angus Raybane. Hello, Angus. I don't recognize your name. Welcome. Hello. Will Australia get the standard release? And what is your favorite classic Who box set? Okay, so, I mean, in terms of whether Australia will get the standard release, I don't know. I just don't know. Would you like it to? Would you buy them? Are you in Australia, Angus? What is your favorite classic Who box set? So if we're talking about Blu-rays, okay, so what's my favorite set that's come out so far? Wow. I would have to say season 14, because it's got Talons and robots and something else that I can't remember, but something really, really good. What else is in season 14? Honestly, I know it's got Face of Evil, but I know there's something more exciting, quite frankly, on there. Yeah. So season 14, I think, because just because of Talons and robots. Oh, the Deadly Assassin. Yes, that's what I was trying to remember. I mean, that's one of my favorite. That's like in my top 10 favorite Doctor Who stories, the Deadly Assassin. How could I forget that one? Obviously, need to oil my brain with some more Robinson's Summer Fruit Squash. I'm not being sponsored by Robinson's either, by the way. I'm not being sponsored by anyone, although I wouldn't rule it out, just in case any corporate bigwigs are watching. Although, I mean, to be honest with you, in seriousness, if I was going to be sponsored by something, it would have to be something that I was genuinely enthusiastic about, because otherwise it really wouldn't suit the nature of this channel, which is about, my obsessions, which happily seem to overlap with some of your obsessions. Ray Morey says, I think I read in Doctor Who magazine it was going to be another 3,000 season 12 reissues. So we're talking again about the limited edition box set version of that. That's interesting. 3,000. Angus Raybane. Ah, yes, you are from Australia. Lovely. So tell me, Angus, how do you feel about I'd love to hear about the Australian versions of these sets. How do they differ? Are they literally the same with, like, the Australian censorship badge that differs from this one, obviously, on there. Has it got like it's like a sort of a twisted square, isn't it? Like a diamond shape, the certificate on the on Australian stuff. So yeah, how do the Australian limited editions compare? Anonymous Bear says, I figure the next Tom Baker season will be 16. Is that key to time? Why can't I remember any of this stuff? Then they'll have gaps to fill in later. Leaving gaps seems to be part of the release order. Interesting. I must admit, I can't imagine that. I mean, given the way that the box sets are put together with like the special features and stuff, I can't necessarily imagine that there would be a pattern, because so much is so complicated, isn't it? And it's all to do with people's availability and schedules, which is kind of chaotic. And so I don't know whether there is like a genuine pattern, or at least they sort of aim for a pattern. I don't know. I can imagine that the order of the box sets released kind of changes, you know, a fair bit. I'd imagine their schedule. The main reason why they probably don't release a schedule, you know, for the next 4 box sets or something, is that it just changes quite a lot by the nature of the sheer complexity of putting these box sets together. Anonymous Bear says, yes, 16 is key to time. I must admit, I'd be really excited to get a key to time box set. Yeah, wow. You got the probably have Vivian Le Fay on there, or an Ogre. Probably Vivian Le Fay, because she probably looks a bit better on the cover. And you got the Shadow from the Armageddon Factor. I really loved that season, and I keep meaning to go back to revisit the Armageddon Factor. Actually, I really liked that one as a kid. Six parts. Geigerpunk says, diverging from Who over to your horror obsession for a moment. That's true. I do like a bit of horror. I've been catching up on The Strain recently. Guillermo del Toro's vampire TV series. Did you ever watch that? No, I haven't. I'm not big on vampires, but I can imagine that Guillermo del Toro would be more than capable of making a vampire TV series that I'd want to watch. Yeah, I don't like having said that, I don't like a certain type of vampire. I don't like a vampire that sort of waltzes around in frilly sleeves moaning about being immortal. I do like, obviously, vampires from Salem's Lot, just on general principles, because Salem's Lot is brilliant. And I loved 30 Days of Night. So I either like sort of vampires that are really, almost swore then, better not do that, really flipping scary, or or really just really feral, like the ones in 30 Days of Night. That film is mad. Love it. Really scary. But The Strain. What type of vampires are in The Strain? Do they have frilly sleeves? Paul Loveday. Hello, Paul. What do you think will happen with the Steelbook range for New Who now that series 1 to 8 have been released? Because BBC released series 9 first, and I didn't get it, and it's 300 quid on eBay. Oh, ouch, Paul. Re-release, please, says Paul. Yeah, I mean, a re-release of a Steelbook. I mean, I can't see why they wouldn't. I mean, yeah, if people want something, then why wouldn't you, re-release it? The Doc 2 says, I like that Dalek by Jack Sparks. Can I see it? Yes, you can. I like I do like a request from viewers. Probably covered in dust, actually. Probably looked more impressive when he was sitting beside Jack Sparks. Oh, Geigerpunk says the vampires in The Strain are properly nasty animal beasties, and it's like a viral infection rather than sparkly vampires or frilly sleeved ones. Okay, well, that sounds quite good. Yeah, I might have a bit of that. Where can I find that? What platform can I find The Strain on? Yeah. How'd you like that, the Doc 2? Thanks again for your very kind super chat donation before this stream even began. That was impressive. Right, he's going back up there. There's another one on the other side. Oh, no, actually, he's different. Oh yeah, actually, this is I think this is quite a rare Dalek actually, because it's got some kind of, this is almost a video in itself. It's got like some kind of record inside it, and it says stuff. And as you can see, it's got a button on its head, and it doesn't work anymore. Is this batteries? It is batteries. Oh God. Okay, I'll put new batteries in at some time, and I'll get back to you. It does say stuff normally. Still, looks nice. Look at the quality of that. Doing its little turn on the catwalk. So, Alan Finley says Near Dark is the best vampire film. I can remember quite liking that in the 80s. Not too much though. I mean, it's got Lance Henriksen in it, which is a positive boon. Anything with Lance Henriksen in it's made a lot better. Although, you know, I do recognise that Near Dark is widely loved, very much so. Doctor Who fan 2004 says, who is your favourite horror villain? Horror villain, I suppose it's Jason Voorhees, really. I've always been a fan of the Friday the 13th films. And I wrote a Friday the 13th novel in 2006, an official Friday the 13th novel called Hate, Kill, Repeat. I made a video about writing that novel, if you're interested. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror. Yeah, so you'll find that in the scary fiction playlist on this channel. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror says, can you get the Cyberman helmet? I'm not going to do that at the moment because I think it looks like it's kind of a bit, it's going to be tricky to get out of there. But the other reason why I say that is that I made a whole video about that helmet, looking at it in detail, which you might want to make a note to watch at some point, because that was good fun. And I even like unscrew there's a plate on the back of the Cyber helmet, and I even unscrew that and show you what's inside. Pretty cool, huh? If I remember, for people who are watching the archived version of this, I'll put a little card up there so you can watch the Cyberman helmet video. Because I must admit, that video didn't do quite as well as I kind of hoped it would have done. I kind of expected people would like that. But I don't know, I might have messed up the thumbnail for that video. It might not have been the best thumbnail. So many things with a YouTube video. You can kind of fall at the last hurdle. You can have something, you can have a really good video, and then if you mess up the thumbnail or the title or whatever, then, you know, you're not going to get as many viewers as you might think. The Idiot of Fandom says, what's your favorite book that you've written? Oh, God. I don't know if I could say, you know. That's really tricky because it's hard to, it's the cliche that people always say, choose them between your babies. But I think, if I'm honest, in terms of the sort of the reaction I've had from people, and it might be The Last Days of Jack Sparks, purely, I mean, Ghoster hasn't been out for so long, whereas Jack Sparks, in fact, this month has been out for 5 years. And so it's had longer to kind of bed in. And I've had some amazing emails from people, you know, saying that The Last Days of Jack Sparks has helped them through the most terrible times. Someone told me that her husband was seriously ill and was undergoing surgery, and like reading Jack Sparks helped keep her sane. And there was someone else who was in some faraway country, and there was like a typhoon that tore the place apart, and the book helped him. Anyway, there's other stories like that, and that kind of blows me away. So I think in terms of the effect that it's had on other people so far, I'd say Jack Sparks is my favorite. And, you know, I really like it as well. But I also love Ghoster. I mean, Ghoster is more, I think Ghoster is more kind of commercially accessible, actually. Yeah, Ghoster's about a woman whose boyfriend vanishes just as she's about to move in with him, and he just leaves his mobile phone behind in his flat. She finds his phone, and she has to decide whether to open that phone to find clues as to what on earth has happened to him. And spoiler, she does open his phone and tries to find out what's happening to him, what's happened to him. Geigerpunk says, I enjoyed the helmet video for what it's worth. That's worth a lot, sir. Thank you. I mean, I think I'm not going to read Geiger's subsequent comment, although it's very funny. Yeah, I mean, it did get a fair few viewers. It's not like it got like 23 viewers, but I suppose with that kind of thing, you know, you never know what to expect. Sam Riddell says, "Hi, Jason. How are you?" I'm very good. Yeah, I've had a good day, and I just finished editing something written, and so that feels like a big milestone, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to come on and just do, you know, an hour and a half or whatever of live chatting with you lovely people and catch up and talk about this kind of stuff. And I love it. You're all such fun to talk to. My voice is starting to go, I'll say that though, so I probably won't be here for much longer. But I'm going to stay as long as I can because I'm enjoying it. Rich Hopkins says, "Can I pick the books up in W.H. Smith's?" No, I don't believe that either of these novels can be picked up in Smith's. You can get them in Waterstones, though. I'm not sure if Waterstones. I'm assuming that Waterstones. I'm assuming that Waterstones are going to open on April the 12th. And actually, if you did go into W.H. Smith's and ask to order these books, they might be able to order them in for you. And I'd be very grateful if you did, Rich. Thanks for asking. I feel like I should be paying you for asking that question, sending you a super chat. Joseph Adams says, "I enjoyed your Doctor Who HMV lockdown video." Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed doing that. Yeah, it was just a video when I sort of starts off with me sitting outside HMV saying I'm going to go in and buy a load of stuff, and it's like 2 days before the second lockdown, I think, in the UK. Oh, Geigerpunk, nice. I got the Sapphire and Steel box set from Network DVDs for Christmas the year before last. Finally finished watching them all earlier this year. Nice. I mean, Sapphire and Steel, big part of my childhood, and I'm amazed that I haven't gone back to revisit them, or most of them anyway. I must do that. I do have I bought last year a nice DVD box set. It might have been the Network one. And yeah, really good. Yeah, I mean, Sapphire and Steel is so scary and so weird, and it's got some really kind of disturbing moments, hasn't it? Just really kind of, yeah, the guy with like the burning photograph is kind of appropriately enough burnt into my memory forever. It really kind of disturbed me as a kid. I didn't like that as a kid. I mean, obviously I liked it, but I didn't like it. Yeah. Paul Loveday says, "Hello, Paul." He says, "Jason, do you get a chance to listen to any Doctor Who podcasts? My favourites are the Big Blue Box podcast and Radio Free Skaro." I think I follow Radio Free Skaro on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, by the way, if you want to follow me there. It's just my name, Jason Arnott, all one word. Would love to see you over there if you want to come and say hello sometime. I'm also on Instagram while I'm at it as Jason Arnott Author for my writing, and also Jason Arnott Rock for my background as a metal journalist and just being into metal. And then there's actually a third Instagram channel I have called Jason Arnott Retro. Basically, if you put my name into Instagram, you'll probably see 3 different accounts that you can follow if you like. Dario, Paul, let me answer your question about podcasts. I don't listen to podcasts. I'm not big. Funnily enough, even though I've written some audio stuff, I'm not very big on audio stuff. I've kind of realized this over the years. I'm much more. I mean, sometimes I will listen to YouTube videos. I'll leave YouTube videos on all night, sort of as radio. I'll kind of do that sometimes, but podcasts don't really appeal to me too much. Yeah, it's just not. I think it's just not the media or the medium rather that I prefer. But I'm sure both of those podcasts are great. You know, in terms of being podcasts, yeah, I've definitely heard both those names before: the Big Blue Box and Radio Free Skaro. Doctor Who fan 2004 Horror says, "Who's your favourite Doctor?" Tom Baker. Has to be Tom Baker. I grew up with Tom Baker. I've said this many times, but I kind of feel like 9 times out of 10, we kind of, you know, attach ourselves to the first Doctor we see, and they're our favourites. and that's certainly the case with Tom Baker. Dario 108 says the Sapphire and Steel episode with the baby that grew fast. God, I can't remember that. Scared the beep out of me as a kid. I appreciate your self-censorship there, Dario. Thank you. Thank you. Odd Bandicoot. Hello, sir, or madam, I think, sir. Odd Bandicoot 96 says, am I mad if I plan on getting the standard packaging and limited edition the collection box sets? No, not at all. I can totally appreciate that. I mean, I've got there are some albums, like thrash metal albums, that I've got several different versions of. Same goes for movies and Doctor Who serials. You know, I've got a lot of Doctor Who serials on like VHS, DVD, and increasingly Blu-ray. I don't think it's mad, Odd Bandicoot, especially if you can afford it and it gives you pleasure. That's all that matters. If you're really into the collection sets and want the variants, then great. Jimmy He Dead says, I remember I was trying for a part in a Sapphire and Steel stage show years ago. Really? What they were doing a Sapphire and Steel play. Did that go ahead? Haha. Geigerpunk says, I can see several copies of Death Wish 3 up there for a start. Yeah, up there. I'll show you. There's lots of copies of Death Wish 3. And obviously this channel loves a bit of VHS. I haven't made a VHS video on this channel for a while, and I must do. I've actually got a package from a friend in America, so I'm going to do an unboxing video of that. And there's a surprise video in there that I don't know what it is, so that'll be nice to capture on film. Anyway, here's Death Wish 3, the UK rental release of Death Wish 3 from like 1986. And your nostalgia glands might be twitching. That's glands with a D. Anyway, your nostalgia buds might be twitching because of this. Do you remember this? I mean, I don't know. In America and indeed Australia, Alan, did you have these kind of tags that tell you a film's out on loan? These are certainly pretty iconic here in the UK for people who remember VHS rental stores. Hello, the Whovian with a small collection. Yo, what did I miss? Well, I must admit you missed a fair bit because I'm winding up because my voice is giving out a bit. But it's great that you're here, and don't worry because the whole thing has been archived. If you want to go back and watch the whole thing. I'll be here for a few minutes yet though, so don't worry too much. Yeah, so there's Death Wish 3, and I've got about 5 or 6 of these, and I think it's because I kind of like what's the word, recreating the way that there were several of these boxes on the shelves of the video store, and so yeah, it's nice to have them all lined up, and one of them is out on loan. Nice. The 2004 Punk. Hello there, the 2004 Punk. Welcome. I have all the Doctor Who The Collection limited edition box sets still sealed. Oh, yeah, I like a sealed thing. I can totally appreciate that. It's a bit counterproductive, isn't it? I have them all still sealed. I didn't want to open them in case I damage them or rip them. And I've pre-ordered the 2 standard editions and I'll open them. Yeah, why not? You know, as soon as... I mean, I must admit, I don't know. Actually, I can't say that I always open things and things are there to be used because I've got plenty of things I've kept sealed. And yeah, I totally appreciate that, the 2004 Punk. And, it's your money and you can treat things you buy exactly how you like. And I can totally see why you'd keep them sealed. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I've kind of done a similar thing in one case because last year I did end up buying, because I didn't get one in the first place, the season 12 limited edition set. I got it on eBay, Wasn't ridiculously expensive, but it was expensive. And I've got that sealed. And I kind of wonder whether I am going to keep it sealed now and you know, just play the standard edition. But the nice thing is, you know, at least the discs are seemingly exactly the same. So it's not like we're missing out on any content. And I think that's the really important thing about the standard versions. Joseph Adam remembers Guild Home Video. Yeah, it's got music. Yeah, music with I remember the Guild Home Video kind of jingle. Is that what you're remembering, Joseph? Yeah, it's great. The Whovian with a small collection, who's just joined us, says, I have just started to collect the collection sets. Since I didn't know about the re-release, I bought the USA ones of season 10 and 18 a week, and then a week later, the UK season 12 and 19 re-releases were announced. Ah, well, I'm sorry to hear that, the Whovian with a small collection. But at least now we know, and from now, moving onwards, we can, you know, we know that we don't have to buy the limited editions for like 300 quid on eBay, unless we really, really, really want the limited editions and we've got more money than, well, I hesitate to say more money than sense, because if you've got enough money and you want to buy a limited edition box set for 300 quid, then I don't think anyone should judge you for that. Hey, Hamdoni, welcome. Hamdoni says, hey, Jason, my favorite story of Doctor Who is Horror of Fang Rock. Yeah, pretty much. You know, that's certainly along the lines of how I see it. I was just looking to see if I've got the Horror of Fang Rock vinyl nearby, but I don't. But Hamdoni, if you look through my Doctor Who playlist on this channel, you might have seen it already, but I did an unboxing video for the UK vinyl version of the Horror of Fang Rock. It's a gorgeous package. I think you'll like that, so take a look. Odd Bandicoot 96 is also following the 2004 Punks methodology of keeping the limited box sets sealed. And I mean, that's that really is discipline, isn't it? Because it means you can't actually watch them, obviously. I tell you, I'm pretty quick on the uptake, aren't I? Yeah. BBC Diamond logo is my favorite, Jason, and the Globe one too in terms of logos. Yeah, I do like the Diamond logo. That's classic. Nathan Mann is back. Hi, Nathan Mann. Odd Bandicoot 96 says, Jason, do you think you will double dip the collection box set standard versions? To be perfectly frank with you, I hope that I'll be sent the because the BBC send me the collection box sets in order for me to cover them on the channel and unbox them, which is very kind of them. Obviously, that doesn't influence my decision. My opinions of these box sets, or my decision as to whether to cover them. And so I'm kind of hoping that the standard editions, I'll also receive them so I can unbox them for you. But if I wasn't receiving the standard editions, I don't know if I'd be able to financially justify double dipping, if I'm honest, if I was paying for these. But, you know, again, if you've got enough money, then it's absolutely your prerogative, isn't it? Yeah. Lindsay confesses, yeah, let's have let's wind up this lovely session with a discussion of Doctor Who things that we keep sealed and we haven't opened yet. Lindsay is first to go. She says, I've never opened any of the vinyl Doctor Who records that I've bought. But I mean, I can see why, Lindsay, because they look gorgeous, don't they? Don't they look nice? By the way, I'm not going to open this in this session. I'm sorry if you're disappointed. I really hope you haven't been waiting until the end for me to do this. I think it probably deserves its own live stream. I might just do a live stream when I open this. Yeah. Yeah, so I can see why, Lindsay. Sam Riddell says, it was in this stream I was recommended to watch the Horror of Fang Rock. Yes, I remember that moment, Sam. And of course, all these live streams are archived, and so that moment is preserved in history. By the way, I think, yeah, we're going to wind this up in 10 minutes. This means, so that means the stream will be 2 hours in total. I think that's a good time, isn't it, to wrap up. This means that if you want to get your name on this board immortalized, you still have 10 minutes in which to do so by sending me a super chat donation. Super chat. Yes. And I'll make the lights flash as well. That's the kind of man I am. Hamdoni has watched my vinyl video unboxing for Fang Rock. Yeah, gorgeous artwork. It's amazing, isn't it? Apart from the middle, the gatefold. Do you remember the gatefold thing in the middle? I wasn't so delighted with. LFK Pix has an interesting question for us all. Do you think they'd ever release the new series as well as part of the collection? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Sort of like season 27. Would it be renumbered as season 27? Like, you know, series 1 from 2005. Season 27. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. Christopher Eccleston there. And Orton. The Moxa Balhoun. The screaming Victorian lady with the gelth coming out of her mouth. Whether they will, I don't know. I doubt it for some reason. I suppose I feel like this format feels like it's exclusive to the classic series. My God. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror says, I got a Regeneration box set and I've never opened it. Yeah, lovely. I mean, I've got lots of things that are sealed just because I've never got round to opening them, and there's that as well, isn't there? But yeah. Geiger Punk has a suggestion, a special edition of these things that's just empty packaging and a download code emailed to you so you can see the video and hear the audio. So you can keep it sealed, but never actually you can keep it sealed and experience it. Sam Riddell says, I've got to head off now, but it was great to catch up with the most informative Doctor Who channel on YouTube. Which channel have you been watching? I don't know how informative I am. I certainly like a good babble, though, don't I? Thanks, Sam. Thanks for swinging by. It's been great to see you. Yeah. So let's have a final run of. I like the thread that came up earlier. Which Doctor Who classic serial would you show to a newcomer to Doctor Who in order to impress them and acclimatize them to the show? Give us your best shot. So it's not necessarily your favorite, remember. It's something that, you know, if you're going to show someone what Doctor Who's all about, I think I would probably show them Horror of Fang Rock myself as well. I think I said a few others earlier, Earthshock, and, you know, I'd show them Pyramids of Mars, I expect. What would you show them, eh? Yes. Catching up on the comments. Hamdoni says, what's your top 3 collection seasons you want released next, Jason? Wow, that's a big one. Top 3. If I'm honest, 15 and 13. 13's got like Pyramids of Mars in it. And what's the other thing? Terror of the Zygons and Seeds of Doom, right? I mean, I'm a Tom Baker freak, you know, so I really want Horns of Nimon on Blu-ray. I'm not even saying that ironically either. Geiger Punk suggestion for playing a classic Doctor Who serial to a newcomer to the show is The Twin Dilemma, and then he adds, if they enjoy it, run. So I like how you're using it as a method to sort out the wheat from the chaff in terms of people. Mr. Wesley Chuck says, which 60s classic story would you like returned in full? Yeah, I was thinking of making a video about this, actually. Mine's probably Evil of the Daleks or Fury from the Deep. Yeah, it's really tricky. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a video about this. I might well do. I mean, Daleks Master Plan is 12 episodes long, isn't it? So it's very tempting to say that. But then you've got Evil of the Daleks. You've got Power of the Daleks. I'm just glad the chase exists in full. Hamdoni, I like your questions. Jason, what's your top 5 stories of Doctor Who to watch when drunk? There's another great video idea. I should be writing these down. Remind me of this, Hamdoni. I actually do have stories. I do have Doctor Who serials that I'm more likely to watch after a few shandies. I haven't actually drunk any booze since last June. But when I used to, I would come home after a couple of liveners and I would be likely to pull out the Leisure Hive. Yeah, I mean, I like the Leisure Hive. None of these are bad stories, but for some reason, I gravitate towards them after a shandy. The Leisure Hive, Underworld, Invasion of Time, Invisible Enemy. I mean, Invisible Enemy is one of my favorites anyway. I can watch that. I'll happily watch that sober or otherwise. And the same goes for the Invasion of Time, actually. I think those are the ones that spring to mind. There probably is another one. I know you asked for 5, but what a great question. Thank you. Thank you, HD. Mr. Wesley Chuck says, I really think we won't ever see Dalek's master plan in full, but I've hope for some of the others. Yeah, there's always hope, isn't there? Who knows? Who knows? Hamdoni hasn't seen Horns of Nymon. What? I hear it's a Delta and the Bannermen type episode where it's really fun but embarrassing. What? I don't know. I just love the Nymon. I loved them when I was a kid. I would like draw Nymon comic strips, and I used to love drawing them with like their yellow horns. And I think Nymons are great. I mean, yeah, it's a bit silly. And Soul Deed, the villain Soul Deed, is played in a slightly over the top and just ever so slightly camp fashion. Yeah, but you know, I love it. It's also got Janet Ellis from Blue Peter playing a role. So yeah, I mean, it's not Horns of Nymon is definitely not one of those stories we've been talking about where I'd play it to a newcomer to Doctor Who to show them what Doctor Who was all about and what it did best. But in terms of nostalgia and monster love, for me, yeah, Horns of Nymon is great. LFK Pick says, I've got a strange few stories still in their packaging. Planet of Giants, Web Planet, Mind Robber, and Delta and the Bannermen. I've seen them all, but never opened my DVD of them. Yeah, I've got several DVDs that are still sealed. But I also have like sort of BBC promo discs from back in the day when they came out. I would get like a promo disc, just the disc in a plain white sort of envelope thing. So I've also got those that I've been playing over the years. So that's why some of them are still sealed. And that's kind of why I also don't have all the DVDs, because I've kind of, I've had all the promo DVDs. But, as the years have gone by, I've kind of wanted to have the actual DVDs because they look lovely on the shelf. I've actually got all my, I'll have to show you sometime, I've actually got all my DVDs and Blu-rays in broadcast order now, I think. Yeah. Because I think I showed you my shelves before and they weren't in broadcast order. I'm sure it infuriated some people quite justifiably. So Geigerpunk says, wasn't Soul Deed considered for the role of the Doctor at one point? What's his name? Is it Graham Crowther? That's the first name that comes to mind. I don't know. I didn't know about that. Oh my God, that would have been quite a theatrical Doctor, wouldn't it? Eh? Yeah. Mr. Wesley Chuck says, my top 4 Doctors are actually the first 4 for me. So, and in what order are they, Mr. Wesley Chuck? Got 2 minutes to go before I am going to bid you a very fond good night. What fun this has been. Hamdoni says, to be honest, Jason, I'm a proper Tom Baker fanboy. I seem to love even the ones people tend to dislike. Android Invasion is a great one for me. Yeah, I mean, I love it all. I love it all. I'll tell you one Tom Baker story I mean to go back and watch is, The Sunmakers. I haven't watched that since broadcast, and I think I've got the DVD. I must watch it, but it just looks so boring, really. Is The Sunmakers as boring as I remember it to be? I mean, obviously I enjoyed it at the time, or did I? I don't know. I just remember The Sunmakers as being 4 episodes of the Doctor talking to the tax man. Yes. Robert Lunn, hello Robert. I remember going to Madame Tussauds back in the early 80s. There was a Nymon there. Wow, I would love that. As well as the Doctor from Meglos. I bought the single of the theme tune with Peter Davison on the front there. That's wonderful. Mr. Wesley Chuck. Okay, so your order of Doctor is like Pertwee first, and then Baker, Tom Baker, Troughton, and Hartnell. Fair enough, yeah. Lovely. That's a lovely memory from Madame Tussauds or Two Swords or whatever it is. I wonder where that Nymon is now. I'd love to have that. I'd love to have a wax Nymon standing in my hall. And on that note of the image of a wax Nymon standing in my hall, I'm going to take my leave of you. Thank you so much. This has been brilliant. This has been my first live stream of 2021, mainly because I've just had so much work on that when it comes to the evening, I haven't always got the, you know, the energy for doing a live stream. But I should probably try and do them sort of, you know, more often. And, you know, they're so much fun. They're so much fun. Thank you very much, guys. I'm sorry that I didn't unbox this. Genuine apologies to anyone who's watching this in an archived version and sort of has watched 2 hours hoping to see this unboxed, but I will unbox it on this channel. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. You are fantastic. And I'm going to end now. You all rock. Thank you for everyone who sent me a super chat. And obviously, if you haven't subscribed, then you might want to. That would be lovely. Check out my Doctor Who playlist. And until next time, until the next video, don't forget to embrace your obsession. Good night, folks.